My name is Dominic Sanfelice. This is my functional perspective on group decision making, presented by me, Dominic Sanfelice, for interpersonal communication. Introduction. Have you ever been in a group project and no one can agree on anything? That's something we definitely have all experienced before. That's where the functional perspective on group decision making comes in. The reason that theory matters is to help us understand why sometimes groups' decisions lead to smart, good outcomes, and others just crumble to dust and fall apart. Whether you work on a school project or are planning a trip with the boys, etc., group communication plays a vital role. Next slide. This is what is functional perspective. The functional perspective theory basically explains how communication in your group affects the decision making. Is it good, making it good, making it bad? It focuses on a few of those functions. One, gauging the pros and cons of the ideas. Is it good? Is it bad? Good idea, bad idea. Setting a goal, looking for alternative options. If this doesn't work, what else could work? What else could we go do? Looking through the problems you might encounter. What if this happens? What if that happens? We'll have to go back um, to looking at alternative options so we can decide what we're going to do. It was also developed by two scholars in 1983, Randy Hirakawa and Dennis Gorin. Um, is this objective or interpretive? This is definitely an objective theory. The functional perspective theory is mainly focused on predictable outcomes and communication within the group, within your group, within their group. Um, and the functional perspective theory tries to identify universal principles that apply to most groups during communication, like the four we just talked about and the four that we will talk about here. On the four functions for great group decisions. So these are four functions that if you have a great idea, these are probably things you have thought through. The problem, realizing issues you will have, you might have, or you already have. Setting goals, you're going to decide what is the most important thing to do and why it's the best. You're going to find alternatives, think about solutions for the group. If this doesn't work, what can we go do? Can we do this? Sure. Pros and cons, weigh out your options, look at good, bad, all the in between, weigh them out. Next is how it works. This is just a little diagram for functional perspective. So first you have your problem analysis, thinking about any problems that might happen, then setting goals for what you will do. Then the identification of alternatives. So if that doesn't work, what can I do? Yet again. And again, the pros and cons, weighing it out. When do we use this or where does it occur? Well, this occurs in everyday life, even if you don't realize it. Like in group projects for school or even work. I use it for work because I'm a lifeguard, so we have to talk things out. You're gonna do this, I'll do this. When? I'll do it then, so we don't get mixed up and we have good communication, so it all works together. Family decisions, even if you don't get the final say on where we go, you probably do get a say on what you want to do. Where do you want to go? One of the most important ones is dating. This is important because uh, if you do anything without your partner say, good, maybe bad, or bad, maybe good, they're liable to get mad at you. You just don't want that. So communication, that just gets it through. Your friend group, you all have different pro pros and cons. You all want to do this. You all want to do that. You have different opinions. You all have different opinions. You want to do this. They might want to do that. Um, so this and that. There are for family vacation. This is my example. So maybe we want to go to Bahamas, but we also need to have alternatives. So the mountains in Rome. Um, we have our problems. So we think about our problems, like what could happen. Bahamas, there could be sharks, etc. Snakes, I don't know. Mountains, there are bears, wolves, snakes, problems there. You need to stay safe. And Rome, I'm not too sure about Rome. Maybe you need to watch your pockets getting picked. They're so crowded there, so populated. They're goods. Bahamas, you get a nice warm tan. You swim in the ocean. You tropical fruits. You fall asleep to the waves. The mountains, it's peace and quiet. They're cool sunny days. You get to fish. Sounds of crickets at night. And then Rome, it's historical. There's sightseeing. Lots of exploration to go around. And then this is weighing out the pros and cons. Goods, bads, problems, alternatives. It's all right here. Here I'm going to show you the theory in action with the Apollo 13 1995 scene, where NASA engineers work together to solve the CO2 filter problem. In fact, I watched this in seventh grade science. I still remember it. So here we go. I'll just skip forward to get to the point. As we saw there, there's just good communication. They're telling you what they need to survive. Great communication, um, problem solving, right there, problem solving. So that's the theory in action with that movie scene. And now we're going to critique. So is it realistic? Yeah, I would say so. It applies to me and others, probably you, many other groups. Is it practical? Yeah, it is. It is shown in relationships, school, work, etc. Does it have strengths? Yeah, teamwork, decision making, communication. You all get that from uh, this. Does it? And then the one thing I don't agree with, it motivates the group to make rational decisions. Definitely not true. You've made some bad decisions. I made some bad decisions, and we've known they were bad decisions and still done it. So therefore, that debunks that. And lastly, our takeaway. Good decisions are most of the time made by good communicating and voting. And here are my references. Communication Theory Network. Um, and yeah, these are all of my sources. Thank you for watching. This was my functional perspective on group decision making by Dominic Sanfelice. Thank you very much.